This guy.
Um, let me make sure this is even the right.
And what they have. I do the same
What's up, squad? Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to put in some headphones for the laptop.
Definitely check it out.
How's everybody been though? Come on now, let's see some faces. Let's see some faces. We're not strangers.
So the guy.
Yeah.
You know how my hair looks nice.
I will be honest with everybody. If you're trying to talk to me right now, I cannot hear you because I don't got headphones. That's fair. There it is. Appreciate that. Alrighty.
Can you hear me now?
Hold up. I haven't used this. Can you guys hear me? Can't. Okay.
For sure. You can
hear me.
Yeah, I got you. How clear?
Oh, you sound really low now. Like I can't even hear you at all.
How's this?
That is way better, but like I don't know if you want to do that.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Oh, my man, blow and pass it.
Nah, man, we working over here, man. Don't let
Y'all are some.
Don't let it be. Let it fool you, man. Y'all know I'm supposed to be seeing that. I'm a Forex educator now, CJ.
Hey, it's all good. You know, Mr. Banks be blowing too, so it's all good.
Yeah, he not me though. I do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody been straight though?
Of course. Life can't be better, you feel me?
Man. Hey, have y'all read the Science of Getting Rich?
I've been listening to the audio.
I ain't gonna lie, reading it hit different. It hits way different. Like, I don't know, maybe because like certain things that I find gems, I just read it over and over, just so it can sit well with me.
I feel you on that one.
All right, I went ahead and sent the link to Cruzr. He should be on here in a bit. Appreciate everybody's time. As we all know, Cruzr is Cruzr. You know, I don't really need to do a massive introduction. We've all met the guy, I'm pretty sure. Lanisha, though, I don't think you actually have met Cruzr, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I know he's going to be out in SAC again. I don't know exactly how soon, but it's definitely in the works right now, especially not to. I don't want to share that info. Actually, I don't want to share that info. But somebody massive is actually getting ready to come back out to SAC. That's all I'm going to say. So, with
that info was actually shared in the Kai Collectors chat. So I believe we are able to tell our own people as well.
Okay, for sure. Ayo, so we got Alex Morton ready to go on tour and actually add Sacramento to one of his spots. So for those of you that don't know, maybe Alex Morton is like, it's like Chris Terry, and then it's like Alex Morton in this business, and he's actually well known throughout the entire industry of network marketing. He's like the Drake of music, but he's the Drake of network marketing, pretty much. Okay, it's all good. He should be on here like any second. He told me 1 second, like 3 minutes ago. I'm gonna hit him with a GIF.
I'm gonna possibly be entering a trade while we're on this call. Just letting you know.
All right, for sure.
What player are you looking at, CJ?
I'm looking at AJ and GN.
You finna sell on AJ?
Yeah.
I know it. What about GN?
Is going to be a buy. I'm just waiting for one more 15-minute candle.
What you really looking at it at? 1 hour or 4?
I'm on a 1 hour right now.
Still doing your same strategy?
Sir, yes, sir.
Look at you.
How the trade been for you, bro? With your crypto teams?
Oh man, I'm at the verge where I want to be an educator now. This shit's easy to me.
Oh yeah.
Hey yo, big man on the call. Here we go.
Yo.
Appreciate it. Hey, so like I said, I don't really need to do a massive introduction. You know, by now we've all either heard of Cruzr or we have met the man, the myth, the legend in the flesh. But really quick, just to do a quick recap. So me and Cruzr were actually talking the other day, and it was kind of brought to both of our attentions that some people, and just kind of network marketing as a whole, a lot of people actually have a tendency of getting someone signed up mixed with actually getting somebody launched, you know, because there is a major difference. You know, one of them is like making sure they're in the chats. One of them is pretty much making sure they get the results. So that being said, me and Cruzr wanted to get this call going because Cruzr had some gems to drop. So I really hope and pray that everyone that's on this call right now is ready to take some notes. And I hope you guys had like a hand exercise before because we about to put those figures to work. So that being said, I want to go ahead and actually pass it over to Cruz. You know, for those of us that don't know, Cruzr has been able to create a full-time income here in this business in a matter of pretty much like less than a few years. And, you know, he's on his way to just smashing chairman. And he's got one of the best ways to make sure that people are not only properly plugged in, but making sure people are properly launched. You know, Cruzr's reputation is pretty much he knows how to build a team locally. You know, he knows how to build a team online as well, but his biggest thing, he pretty much built himself to P5K locally. So I truly believe that that is something that everyone on this call or even watching this recording right now can really, really use. So with that said, I want to go ahead, pass the torch. Cruzr, it's all yours, bro. Go for it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? First of all, I apologize for being late. I was in the car and got here late and insert excuse here. So, but Lewis, appreciate you, man, for setting this entire call up to make sure that everybody can be set up for success. And so, really, guys, all I'm really going to do is I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm really just going to get right into how to successfully launch people. And really, I know that you guys will definitely take 1, 2, or a few things away from this and help take it to the next level. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to put these glasses on really quick because they will make me a lot more intelligent looking. No, I'm just kidding. But hold on a second. So, how's everyone doing, by the way? Everyone doing good? Everyone's on mute.
Yeah, doing good.
Yeah, doing well. There's Lanisha. What the heck? I totally asked to see the face earlier, man. Okay, I see you, Lanisha. I see you.
Let's run it. So I'm gonna just go through it really quick, and then afterwards, if you guys have any questions, then we'll do that. But I'm gonna go through this like pretty fast. So, Lewis said something that I was going to say, but he already stole my thunder. But I'll just repeat it just for emphasis on how important it is. So I guess I'll put it in a different way. Amateurs start their business, professionals launch a business. When Apple comes out with a new product, they don't it doesn't just come out. It's a product launch. Like it's exciting. There's a certain type of energy behind it. And here's the thing. a rocket uses, the majority of its fuel taking off, right? Same thing with the plane. But once it gets into the air, you can actually throttle back to 60% and it'd still be fine. But if you're not going 100% when you guys are launching people, then we're not really setting people up for success. And I think it's really important that this is what Lewis said earlier that I was going to repeat, but people spend years, days, weeks, months, or even sometimes years, believe it or not, trying to sign somebody up. And once they get someone started and locked in, they don't take 24 to 72 hours to make sure that they get set up for success. And it absolutely blows my mind. So, and that's really what the launch is just going over a game plan and making sure that your guys' new people are set up for success. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna write a few things.
Hey, Cruz, just FYI, if you are trying to talk, you are muted.
That's funny. I was literally sitting here talking and I didn't realize I was muted. So that's awkward. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the purpose of a launch. So number one is, by the way, guys, this is not my information. This is something that I got from Eric Worre, who wrote the #1 network marketing book on the planet GoPro. And one of the things he talks about is the purpose of a launch. So number one is just validating people's decision. So what I mean by that is you guys got to understand that being involved in trading, being involved in business, we're observing the masses and doing the opposite. So most people who are getting involved, they've never done anything like this before. And what happens, when they've never done anything like this before, ignorance and not knowing this, people have the fear of the unknown. So people are oftentimes scared when they're getting involved. So we need to be those people that validate their decision. We need to make them feel welcome. We need to validate that they made the right decision. So when people are getting started, what do? You want to, welcome to the team. Every single time you guys will hear me say the same thing. Welcome to the team. Super excited to I don't even say team. I say welcome to the family. Super excited to have you on board. You got to validate that they made a good decision when they get started. So that's the first thing when it comes to the purpose of the launch. The second thing is building a genuine relationship. So people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So if they don't know, like, and trust you, chances are they're going to honestly not want to do business with you. That's just the truth. So when I'm launching somebody, my goal is to build a genuine relationship with that person. I want to be that person's friend. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. I cannot get someone to take action and do something if they don't like me, to be completely honest with you, because if they love this business but they hate you, they're going to find someone else to do it with. Can I be completely honest with you guys? So we need to build a genuine relationship. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you get to hear their story. You share with them your story. You figure out their why. Why are they doing this? Who are they doing this for? And you get to know them, and you just build a genuine relationship with them. And so that's part of the launch, part of the purpose of a launch as well. People can feel if you're treating people like a number, people will feel that. And when you don't have the right intention and when you don't have the right energy, that's why a lot of people will fall off. So you got to build a genuine relationship with your brand new person. So that is part of the purpose of the launch as well. The third thing is setting proper expectations. It's a lot easier to set an expectation than it is to give an expectation. So what I mean by that is most people come into this with some people, I should say, come into this with unrealistic expectations. What might some of those be? Maybe they think it's a get rich quick. Maybe they think that this is going to be super easy. Maybe they think that we're going to do everything for them. Maybe they think, I don't know, but it just is very important that we set expectations from the beginning. Because if you don't, it's a lot harder to change that later on. Let me give you one example. We all know the power of events. We all know how important events are. If people go to the events, their chances of succeeding are 10 times more likely than someone who doesn't show up to the events. But if we don't let them know that the events are important on the front end, when they don't go to their first few events and you try to tell them later on, it's a lot harder to tell them that. But if you let them know from the beginning, hey, these events are non-negotiable. If you want to have success, you have to go, and you let them know from the beginning, and they go to their first few events, and being in that environment helps them level up. Of course, they're going to continue to go on a weekly basis, but it's the expectations that we set from the beginning that are going to really that are going to help people really stick with this long term. So, sorry guys, my throat is like kind of bothering me, but okay. The fourth thing that we're really doing when it comes to the launch is we're giving people direction. Most people, they don't have, again, they've never done anything like this before, so they need direction. So we're pointing them to, we need to point them in the right direction to help them ultimately get results. If you validated that they made a good decision and you built a genuine relationship and you set proper expectations and you gave them directions in order to actually get them results, then, which is like the ultimate, that should be the result of a launch. That's funny. The result of a launch should be them getting results. So if they're not getting some kind of a result, trading, marketing, or both, then we did not launch them. But that is the purpose of a launch. Before I move on, you guys have any questions on like the purpose of a launch? Speaking of results, I saw a video by Eric Worre on YouTube, and again, he has content for everything, literally everything, anything that you need to know about building a successful team. I would recommend his YouTube more than anything else, to be completely honest with you. He talked about how if you take your average, if you take your average person in this industry and you help them make $1, just one, within their first 3 to 6 months, then their likeliness of staying, you're going to have a 70% retention rate. 7 out of 10 people are going to actually stick. If you just help them make $1, that's why it's so important to help them get results. Take those same people and don't help them get a result within their 90 days for 6 months. It's going to be maybe like, I can't remember the exact number, but I think he said about 20%. So it's like night and day difference. It's so important that we help people get results. You guys have heard me talk about this before. I'm going to talk about it till forever. And it's just raising the bar, right? You have belief. Damn, it won't let me scroll down. That's supposed to be belief, whatever. Actions, and then results. If you help, most people have limiting beliefs, so they take low action, so they get low or no results, which reinforces their limiting belief that they couldn't do it in the first place. And that's when they take less action and get less results and eventually fall off. But if you're there and you're helping them with their belief and you help them, you believe in them until they can believe in themselves, and you help them take action, and then they get results, that's going to reinforce their belief that they could do it, and now they're going to take more action and get more results. So I'm not going to go into that. I could talk about that for half an hour and an hour, just that one thing. But raising the bar, raising people's beliefs, in turns raise their actions, in turns raise their results. So do you guys have any questions about this, of the purpose of the launch? Do not be afraid to say anything. I'm about to erase this, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to assume that your guys' silence is a good thing. So I'm going to move on.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about something that needs to be talked about. Let's talk about what is not a launch. What is not a launch is downloading apps. People are like, oh yeah, I launched them. What'd you do? How'd you launch them? Oh, I helped them download apps. Okay, you did not launch them. Like, you just helped them download apps. And this is very important to know what's not a launch. I mean, answering their questions. Obviously, we want to answer their questions. Don't get me wrong, but just because you answered some of their questions does not mean that you necessarily launched them. Setting up accounts. Maybe you help them set up a demo account, a live account. Maybe you help them set up their Telegram, join all the chats, whatever, which are all important things. Don't get me wrong, but that is not a launch. Ultimately, really, what a launch really is, like the most important part of the launch, if you don't do anything, is really doing a few things. Really, if I had to break it down to one or two things, really, what is a launch? A launch really comes down to the most important two things. Is you help someone take their first few trades, and you help them do their first invites with their initial list. Now, again, we can't guarantee anybody results, but we can pretty much guarantee them results if we do these things, to be completely honest with you. Because think of it like this. If you guys get a trade, from Steady or from Gold Cup or whatever apps you guys, or the LBD trading ideas chats, wherever, and you have, a full-time or a six-figure or a seven-figure trader, and you help them take their first few trades, chances are they're going to get results. And again, because they have results, that's going to raise their belief and their actions and raising the bar, like we talked about. So help them take their first few trades. When you have brand new people on your guys' team, help them take their first few trades. That's the most important part of the launch on the trading side of things. For people who are building the business, then what we want to do is help them do their first few invites. If we help them invite their entire top 30 list the right way, out of those 30, half of them are going to check out the information. 15. Let's just say 15 see a full presentation so they can make an educated decision. Out of those 15, law of the averages, I've noticed that bare minimum 2 out of 10 people that see the presentation are going to want to get started. So you help them invite 30 people, 15 showed up, 3 got started, boom. Now they're a P150. Check this out. Now they're making an extra $150, $200 monthly residually, and this could happen within their first month, first week. Some people, their first 24 hours, believe it or not. Invite 30, 15 show up, 3 get started. That could happen I've helped people do that in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So that could happen very, very quick. And understand that what you guys do will duplicate. So if you create a culture of speed during your guys' launch, what's going to happen is your guys' team is going to have exponential growth. Because imagine, imagine you create that culture of speed where everyone hits P150 in the first 24, 72 hours to 1 week. Do the math on that for a few weeks, and you'll be shocked at the exponential growth that can happen if we do this the right way. So first few trades, first few invites. What else?
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you have what is not a launch, setting up accounts, downloading apps. So do you hold the expectation that if they don't, like, obviously all this stuff is pretty much included in the website. So if they don't do the website, like if they don't have this stuff done already, do you hold the expectation that I'm not going to meet with you until you get this stuff done?
Yeah, 99% of the time, I will not meet with them until after they go through the LBD website, the phase 1. So I'm actually going to talk about that in next. But yes, to answer your question. By the way, guys, if people tell you that they just want to trade, which is fine, don't get me wrong, a lot of people just want to trade. Watch what happens when you help them take their first few trades and they get results in their first 72 hours to 1 week and they start making money, demo or live. Chances are, if they're getting results, why would they not want to tell other people about it? So, of course, ideally we want people to build the business, of course, but if they don't, help them with their first few trades, and chances are, if they're making money, why would they not want to share the opportunity with other people? So you don't have to force somebody. Like if someone's like very negative against the building, do not force them to do that. Just help them do what it is that they want to do, and by default, chances are they'll want to do what you want them to do later on. So, so I kind of did this a little bit out of order. I'm about to delete this. Do you guys need this? You guys got this? You guys good? All right, cool. I'm gonna delete this.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let me share my screen. So Keelan just asked a great question. Honestly, I should have talked about this first. I'm kind of working a little bit backwards. So I'm going to go to lifebydesigntraining.com. Every brand new person I should mention this first. When you guys are launching people, you have to do it within your first 24 to 72 hours of them getting started. You guys got to understand that people's excitement levels drop 25% each day that goes by without them being launched. So let's say Lewis gets started, for example. Awesome. Welcome to the team, blah, 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 blah. If I don't launch him within 24 hours, he loses 25% excitement. If I don't launch him within 48 hours, he loses 50. 3 days, 75, 4 days, he lost all of his excitement. Obviously, that's just a rough number, but the point is we want to launch people as soon as possible. When people are brand new getting started, they're at their most excited state. And when they're at their most excited state is when you want to really help them take action, because the longer that you wait, the harder it is going to be for you to help them take action. So the very first thing that I do after someone signs up in the academy is I have them create an account on the Life by Design website, the lifebydesigntraining.com. So half of the launch is them going through these videos, going through phase 1. The other half of the launch, second half, is doing everything that I just shared with you guys. I did this backwards. I should have done this first. I apologize about that. But so the moment that someone gets started, they need to create an account on Life by Design that day, as soon as possible. And then you want to have them go through phase 1. Phase 1. So phase 1 is their first week or two. Phase 2 is their next week. And then phase 3 is after that. Do not have people watch phase 1, 2, and 3 all at once, or else their entire brain will explode. In fact, to be honest with you, people really probably only need phase 1 for their first 30 days, if I'm being completely honest with you. So you don't want to overcomplicate this thing. You want to keep complexity is the enemy of execution. Simplicity is key. We need to make this as super simple as possible. Phase 1 is the only thing that they need to go through in the beginning. And the videos should only take them about an hour. It shouldn't take them more than an hour. So as soon as someone gets started, let's say Lewis gets started, today, awesome. I'll have him create an account on lifebydesigntraining.com, and that night I will have him go through the phase 1 section, the fast start training. The second day, the very next day, as soon as possible, notice how I have a sense of urgency. The next day is when I'm going to meet up with him, if possible. If they're not local, then jump on Zoom with them to do the things that we just talked about prior to this. Remember when I told you guys what is not a launch, downloading apps and all that stuff? That's because they should go through this fast start training, and 80 to 90% of that stuff should be done for you guys. That's how we did this fast training. We did this fast start training because with IM Academy, there's over 15 different tools, education, and services to help people with trading. But the reality is, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because when it's one thing to have the tools, and it's another to know how to use the tools. That's why we created Life by Design, the fast start training, to set people up for success. So you guys don't have to spend as much time setting up people's accounts, downloading apps, and all this stuff. If they're having trouble, of course, we're going to help them. But phase one should cover most of that for you guys, so we can focus on what really matters. What really matters are the things that we talked about before. So helping them get a result, setting proper expectations, all that stuff. That's what really matters. So this was created to save us time. So as soon as someone gets started, boom, Life Design, phase one. There's the trade section, and then there's the launch section. If people are just trading, cool, trading startup. Assuming that, by the way, whatever you assume, people usually do. If you assume people are going to show up to your guys' events, they usually will. If you assume that they're going to be interested, they usually will be. If you assume that they're going to build, chances are they might want to initially. So I just always assume, unless they say otherwise, of course. So after with the trading startup, it's all about the trading. With the launch, that